Our hero wakes up and realizes he's somehow ended up in the body of a demon from another world. A ghost girl calls herself his mentor and says he's got to fulfill the demon sect's age-old dream. He needs to collect all the cultivation methods of the righteous sects and resurrect an unbelievable divine power from the ancient past. Before our hero can even catch his breath, another girl pops up, calling herself his ghost aunt, saying he's the only one who can do it. Like any sane person, his first thought is to get the hell out of there and fast. But then the girls start doing stuff to him that no guy could possibly resist. Lying on the floor and looking around, the hero wonders how he could have ended up in a place like this. Staring at himself in the mirror, he's blown away that he could have been transported to this world. Right beside him, someone's stoked that the hero's finally awake. Turning around, he sees a girl's spirit who says that thankfully, they managed to help him and get his soul back into his body. The hero's trying to dig through this body's memories, see what this ghost wants from him. This is the Kunlun continent, a world crawling with cultivators, split into two sides. One's called Tao, the alliance of orthodox sects, and the other, Mo, the union of demonic sects. The hero's current identity, Lin Shen. He's a harbinger from the Mo Union who's supposed to rebuild the alliance and crush Tao. Thing is, the union's been on the decline for ages, and all the past demons tried recreating this ancient magic power, the Nine Tyrants mystery, but they all failed. Demonic harbingers have this secret technique where their souls keep existing in this world after they die. To save Lin Shen's soul, Qin Kun summoned the ghosts of two more past harbingers. But their combined effort didn't work, and instead, the hero's soul ended up inside Lin Shen's body. Checking him out, Qin Kun's impressed, because he was damn near dead, but his gather yin replenish yang technique actually worked. According to her, now he can do dual cultivation with the Nine Sects Alliance Tao disciples and snag their best techniques. Lin Shen says he needs to tell Qin Kun something first, but she's like, let's talk later. Right now, we gotta snag some techniques from your master. Lin Shen ain't sure it's cool, but he starts unbuckling his pants anyway. The girl rushes him, saying her tangible form only lasts as long as an incense stick burns. The hero figures one incense stick ain't gonna cut it. Just then, someone walks in, stopping Lin Shen dead in his tracks. Master Mu Qixuan's like, if you start dual cultivation with Qin Kun right now, you're gonna die. She says, figures. The charm brought you back, but the chi distortion totally wiped your cultivation. Qin Kun's confused, asking how she missed that, and the master replies that she's got other things on her mind. The girl wonders how they'll finish their mission now, since Lin Shen's totally useless without his cultivation. According to her, this dual cultivation technique has a catch. You can only pick partners weaker than you. Spotting Yaoma, Lin Shen's personal maid, entering the room, our hero braces for more bad news. She also mentioned that 5 people are back, demanding to see Lin Shen. Ever since Qin Kun made him the next harbinger, those 5 have been fighting it, and now they want him out. Knowing things are getting dicey, Lin Shen's planning to step down and find a quiet place to recover. Hugging him tight, Mu Keishan says she'll personally squeeze him dry if he acts so irresponsible. Lin Shen asks what they should do then, and the master sends Yao Yao to guard the door. She shoves the maid away with her magic power, sending Yao Yao flying out the door. Sitting on the ground outside the gates, the girl is amazed at how strong she is. Since she can't improve our hero's cultivation through dual cultivation right now, Mu Keishan decides to transfer qi to him through physical contact. She figures the best way to explain it to clueless Lin Shen is to just show him. Mu Kexuan tells him to lie down, then gets right up close, ready to get started. Lin Shen's freaking out, begging her to explain what's about to happen. The girl tells him to chill and hoists her leg up to begin the process. The master lowers her foot onto his chest, and it's glowing like crazy and burning hot. Lin Shen never imagined you could channel energy like that. Mu Kexuan tells him to focus, no distractions, and to guide the qi into his dantian. Hearing her master screaming behind the door, Yao Yao wonders if she should go in and help. Just then, the door swings open, and the maid swears she wasn't eavesdropping. The hero just stares at her, smirking, and says he's ready to greet their guests. And so, they enter the Demon Sect's council hall, where Lin Shen is expected by the 5 elders. Yao Yao announces the arrival of the honored devil, and the hero strides in, head held high. To his left sits the elderly elder Kang Shui, and next to her, the young woman, Ming Ya. On the right, sipping tea, sits the fat man Meng Bodhi, and beside him, the strong man Dongfang Hong. At the center of the hall sits Hong Lei, who, greeting Lin Shen, invites him to sit wherever he pleases. Yao Yao's pissed that Hong Lei is sitting on the Demon Lord's throne, wishing he was already chopped to bits. If the hero backs down now, it'll be like surrendering to the 5 elders. His authority'll take a huge hit. Without saying a word, Lin Shen confidently strides toward Hong Lei. Yao Yao's afraid that her master might recklessly do something rash. Everyone watches with bated breath as Lin Shen approaches his throne. Hong Lei smirks at the hero and asks him what's up. The hero lowers his head and his body glows with magical power. The elder's stoked because if Lin Shen strikes first, Hong Lei will be proven right. But the hero suddenly puts his hand on the elder's forehead, asking if he's okay and if he's got a fever. Lin Shen lifts Hong Lei out of his seat with a smile, saying he probably doesn't realize where he is and needs to move, or everyone will laugh at the elder. Just like that, the hero moves him off his throne without any backlash. Qin-kun's impressed by Lin Shen's quick thinking, wondering when he got so clever. Waving his hand, the hero tells the elders to speak up if they have something to say, otherwise he'll consider the meeting closed. Hong Lei jumps up, declaring that Lin Shen isn't worthy of being the cult leader and should give it up. Panic erupts among the crowd. They feel a fight coming, but they don't want to die in a power struggle. If Lin Shen refuses, Hong Lei is planning to call him an unreasonable tyrant and just off him right then and there. But surprising everyone, the dude actually agrees. This totally throws Hong Lei for a loop, and he double-checks to make sure Lin Shen's serious. Kang Shu can't believe the guy's willing to give up the Lord's seat. According to him, he'll consider stepping down if the right person comes along to replace him. But he figures the real question is, who's actually worthy of taking his spot? Lin Shen asks if the esteemed elders are really sure they want to rush into picking a new leader. Hong Lei denies it, saying they don't see themselves as power-hungry hyenas. The hero wants them to announce that all 5 elders promise not to pursue the Demon Lord's seat, so everyone can admire their high morals. The elders are stunned, like, how did Lin Shen just shut them down so fast when they hadn't even made a move yet? Word on the street is, even though the Bodhi don't want power themselves, they're willing to throw their students into the ring as candidates. He calls out Sailor, Nayat, Obu, and Gray, who are already hyped for their master's instructions. Qin-kun's sweating bullets because if Lin Shen has to fight, he's got 0 chance of winning. Getting up from his throne, the hero offers a sparring match and says he'll consider handing over his spot to the winner. Right then, Hong Lei shouts out that his students are just as good and tells them to step up. And just like that, Liu Zi, Wang Kai, Ao Tian, and Gu Kui are ready to rumble too, guided by their master. Noticing there are way too many contenders and this could drag on, the hero suggests they fight each other first. Then, whoever comes out on top will go up against Lin Shen for the leader's spot. Before you can blink, the whole crowd's going at it, throwing down on each other. The hero, chilling on his throne, watches the chaos unfold with a smile. And now, standing tall, the last man on his feet is none other than Elder Hong Lei's disciple, Ho Kai Lei. The crowd's catching on to Lin Shen's sly move. Even though he beat everyone else, he's barely standing. But Hong Lei's got to play. He's about to slip his student a stamina recovery pill. Lin Shen's calling for a fair fight, so he's giving Hu Kai Lei till tomorrow to recover. Elder Hong Lei is completely thrown off by the hero's behavior. The whole crowd of beat-up students are just as stunned, staring at Lin Shen. But a second later, their confusion flips to a whole different vibe, and they start bawling. The entire crowd's touched by the Lord's sense of fairness, and they all start praising him like crazy. The hero's stoked. His first move in taking the Lord's throne just paid off because he's won over the people. Realizing this, Dongfang Hong can't see how they're going to seize power now, but Hong Lei tells him not to freak out. He thinks Lin Shengyu should bask in the applause while he can, because tomorrow he's not going to be the overlord anymore. While the hero's chowing down, Qin-chun asks why he let Ho Kai Lei heal up when he had the perfect shot to take him out. Lin Shen tells her to chill, saying he can pull together his own unique techniques from the 9 sects. He believes that if people feel like the leader's worth following, they'll back him up and keep him on the throne. The hero figures the guy can't recover overnight anyway, and he's going to make a huge splash tomorrow. Watching him, Qin-kun's wondering how she never noticed how ruthless he really is. Now she's convinced he's the perfect fit to be the demon emperor and can lift the sect sky high. The master's sure Hong Lei will try to boost his students' power, so they need to try and break through to the 3rd level of nascent soul without dying. Not sweating any risks, the hero leans back on the floor, confident he's got this. Suddenly, they all hear a voice saying that the 2 girls together won't be able to pull off a breakthrough to the 3rd level. The Grand Master walks in, dead set on all 3 of them working with Lin Shen. The hero's floored. He never imagined there'd be 3 girls at once. Qin-sun grabs Lin Shen, declaring she's going first. The Grand Master tells the hero he's got serious talent and asks him not to let them down. Before he can even blink, the 3rd girl comes crashing down on top of them. The breakthrough to the 3rd level is glowing so bright, you can see it from outside. Morning comes and Lin Shen's ready to fight Ho Kai Lei as the crowd gathers, buzzing about their chances. Jiang Xue asks Hong Lei if he's sure he'll win, and he tells her not to worry, he's got it covered. The elder served 2 generations of demon masters, and the techniques they practice can seriously mess up their opponents. He's sure now's the time to strike Lin Shen. That's why his student took a triple dose of pills yesterday. The hero sees this coming, so he's planning to kick things off with his best move. The gong rings, the fight's on, and Ho Kai Lei charges straight at Lin Shen. The crowd's freaking out, wondering how this guy got so powerful in just one night. Hao Tai Lei leaps into the air, winding up, ready to slam into his opponent. Staying cool, Lin Shen just slaps the dude across the face, asking him what all the yelling's about. The crowd is stunned by how far Ho Kai Lei flew from just one slap. The hero's digging that demon emperor palm, thinking it's a beautiful and effective technique. The crowd roars with applause, which is seriously pissing off Hong Lei. Jumping up on the platform with a megaphone, Yao Yao rallies the crowd to cheer for the mighty demon lord. The hero loves how her words are working the crowd because the atmosphere in the arena is really heating up. Leaping to his feet, Hong Lei screams at his student, calling him worthless. Crouching low and trembling, Hu Kai Lei shoves one recovery pill after another into his mouth. With his strength restored, he jumps up yelling that he's the only one who'll become the demon emperor. Shen Kun notices that Lin Shen's energy is draining way too fast and she needs to replenish it. Since all the hero's energy is focused in his arm, the girl figures out how to help him. Hearing that Lin Shen plans to fight him with one hand, Ho Kai Lei is stunned. From the stands, Yao Yao announces the demon lord's plans and the crowd gets even more hyped up. Lin Shen himself doesn't really understand what's going on as Qin Kun takes his hand in hers. Hao Zai took the one-hand statement as an insult and now he's charging at the hero, furious. Qin Kun transfers energy to Lin Shen, but he feels like it's still not enough. Yao was still shouting out praises, going on about how awesome her master is. The masters whisper into Qin Kun, telling her exactly how to channel more energy. Focusing hard, she takes the hero's index finger right into her mouth. Lin Shen feels like he's been hit with a jolt of pure electricity and then covered in fire. He turns to face his opponent and sees him charging like some kind of wild animal. Throwing out his hand, the hero blasts Hu Kai Lei with a wave of crazy, powerful energy. Right in front of a bunch of shocked onlookers, that dude goes flying onto the next building's balcony. Yama's jumping for joy, announcing the Demon Emperor as the victor. Lin Shen asks Qin Kun how she figured out how to transfer the energy so damn fast. Letting go of his finger, she says that was just the first thing that popped into her head at the time. The elders are blown away. Looks like Lin Shen's sticking to his old tricks and making them even better. Our hero's chuckling at this chump who couldn't even handle his basic move. But Ho Sai Lei ain't about to admit defeat just yet. Hong Lei is trying to pump up his student, saying falling off the stage ain't the same as losing. Hao Sai Lei is completely shook, struggling to get back on his feet, bleeding from the mouth. The crowd's buzzing, trying to figure out if the demon lord's slap was some kind of magic trick. Hero says the kid needs to chill with those pills or he's gonna end up dead. Lin Shen calls out, and the nurses rush over to help the injured guy. Leaning over him, they start figuring out what kind of damage he's taken. One of the nurses says, "Looks like this kid was poisoned." Qin Kun's whispering that an overdose is the same thing as being poisoned. Elder Hong Lei is smirking. He's stoked to see how the hero's gonna weasel his way out of this. The dude's accusing Lin Shen of the crime, but to his surprise, he just cops to it. While our boy's just chillin', picking his nose, the elder's trying to figure out why he confessed. Hearing her master's words, Yao Yao yelps, totally caught off guard. According to the hero, there are no rules in their demon sect, and using poison ain't against the rules. And if anyone's curious how he poisoned his opponent, Lin Shen suggests stepping into the ring with him. Hong Lei realizes this guy's bad news, and he needs to stay the hell away from him. The hero keeps pushing it, telling anyone who disagrees to step up to the ring and face him. Yaoma shouts that the people will always follow the demon lord, kill the traitors, and unite the world, and the crowd is all about it. As soon as the sun dipped and everyone scattered home, our hero sneaks into Elder Mingya's mansion. Qin Kun's scratching his head, doesn't get why the hero's doing this, cause he already scared off the rivals. He figures they gotta grab the bull by the horns and take him out one by one so they never even think about crossing their lord again. Plus, he wants to test him, so he's paying Elder Mingya a visit right now, kicking down her front door. The girl, who's just chillin' in a hot bath at this moment, lets out a shriek of surprise. Stepping out of the tub and wrapping herself in a towel, Mingya asks the Lord why he's visiting her so late. Plopping down in an armchair and smirking, our hero says she already knows the answer to that question. Tong smiles, thinking that with her around, Lin Shen won't even glance at other girls. Dropping to her knees, Mingya begs the Lord for forgiveness for conspiring with Hong Lei. The hero scoffs, all riled up, saying that's not nearly enough. Qin Kun is freaking flying around them, trying to figure out what this chick has that she doesn't. She's asking Lin Shen what he's even looking at, and then pointing right at her chest. Elder Ming Ya is all confused, asking what he's implying, cause Qin Kun's invisible to her. The girl, totally bummed, turns to the corner and tells them to ignore her. She just wants to be alone. Mingya brings the hero a box filled with a collection of rare pearls she's been collecting for years. Lin Shen's like, that's a smart move, but it's still not enough. The elder realizes the guy wants to spend the night with her, and figures she's got to suck it up. She says she gets it, and the hero smirks, betting she's got even more treasures hidden away. Crouching down, Mingya calls the hero over, saying they've got all night. Lin Shen tenses up, realizing she totally got the wrong idea. She's asking why I'm hesitating, like I don't want to spend the night. Truth is, I wanted to see if I could boost my cultivation base with her, so I tell her she's got it all wrong, and I'm out of here. But before I bounce, I offer her a handshake. In her head, Mingya thinks I'm a nice guy but kinda weak, and I've just made a fool of myself. But when she shakes my hand, our palms light up like crazy. She's totally confused by this intense pleasure she's getting from a simple handshake. I'm stoked the experiment worked, cause now I don't have to rely on those 3 masters anymore. I gotta try this on Hong Lei, see if this technique works on guys too. Meanwhile, Elder Ming Ya's begging Lin Shen not to leave, and I'm wondering if this yin-yang technique has some side effects. Still, Elder Mingya ain't letting her prey go, and she's closing in on me. Knowing his cultivation level's lower than hers right now, and that's dangerous, the hero says he's got stuff to do. Before she can even argue, he bolts out of her mansion faster than lightning. Mingya's pissed, promising herself she'll get her hands on him sooner or later. Hong Lei's in bed, muttering Lin Shen's name in his sleep. Waking up from the nightmare, he jumps up, covered in cold sweat. The guy gets the feeling someone snuck into his room. Shaking, he scans the dark room, trying to see what woke him up. Convinced it was just a bad dream, the elder lets out a relieved breath. Just then, Lin Shen, holding a candle to his face, grins like a maniac. The elder gets so freaked out, his scream can be heard way beyond the mansion walls. Dropping to his knees in front of the hero, Hong Lei swears he'd never even think about going against the big boss. The hero eyes his insane treasure hoard, thinking the old geezer's one slick operator. It hits Hong Lei. He can give the big boss something as a peace offering. The guy offers him this incredible, lifelike statue of a gorgeous babe made of solid gold. Shin's like, why's it always gold? And the elder says he's got something else in mind. He calls for Aju, and a pair of crazy long legs appear in the doorway. According to the elder, he's prepped her specifically to be the boss's personal attendant. But Lin Shen says he doesn't need her since he's already got a servant, and Qin Kun's hyped that the hero isn't letting beauty distract him. Hong Lei points out that Aju's got mad skills in Chinese secret techniques way beyond your average maid. Throwing an arm around the guy's shoulders, the hero says he's super touched by his sincerity and thanks him for the awesome gift. When he touched Hong Lei, the hero realized the yin-yang method only works on women. But it wasn't a total waste, because he finally found a girl whose level is lower than his. The elder tells Aju to pack her stuff and leave with the Lord, to serve him well. The girl smiles, because after 3 years undercover, she's finally close to the demon lord, just like she wanted, and now she can kill him and destroy their sect. Getting home, the hero stretches, noticing how tired he is after running around all night. Jin says she warmed up his bed for him and suggests he go to sleep. As he undresses, Lin Shen remarks that there's no need for them to rush to bed. Just then, he gets smacked hard on the head by Qin Kun. Flying out the window, she asks the hero to come outside for a minute. Jin, who's been hiding a knife behind her back the whole time, gets scared that he might have noticed something. Stepping outside, Lin Shen asks Qin why she's so pissed off. She says she's not pissed, which makes him smirk sarcastically. He asks if she's jealous, and Qin Kun's face turns red with rage. She promises to shut him up if he says another stupid thing like that, cause she's his mentor, and jealousy is out of the question. Hearing the master talking to someone, a Jin gets out of bed to eavesdrop. But then the window swings open, and a figure appears in the frame. Getting into a fighting stance, she demands to know who's there. A man appears in the firelight, and a familiar voice says it's her uncle, Lu Feng. He saw the demon lord was away, so he came to see her. He's been hiding for 10 years, unable to get close to him, and since Jin got in so fast, he's giving her this vial of poison. If you poison the blade, even a great immortal is screwed if you get a scratch on them. Telling the girl he expects good news, the guy jumps back out the window. Qin Kun says now that all 5 elders are intimidated, the hero needs to hurry and collect all the secret techniques of the 9 Great Righteous Alliance ASAP. He has to recreate the 9 boundless secrets because if they're discovered, the Alliance will attack the demon cult at any cost. Noticing the guy isn't listening and is looking off to the side, the mentor gets pissed. Under the pale moonlight, Lu Feng jumps over the fence and leaves Lin Shen's mansion. Taking off his mask, he rejoices, hoping this devil will never see the light of day again. But suddenly he freezes because he hears the hero's voice, happy that he's apparently caught a rat. Realizing he's about to get caught, the guy speeds up. Another second and he's already running at full speed, escaping a terrible fate, while Chin-kun asks why Lin Shen didn't chase after him. This guy's booking it, thinking nobody's ever going to catch him. He's practically legendary, like a freaking flower floating over a field. B-A-M. Right then, a huge rock clocks him in the back of the head. Serves him right. Why bother chasing some dude down when you can just make things easy? That's what I'm talking about. And just like that, they got him stripped down and tied up. Mission accomplished. So our hero's all like, Lu Feng, you with us? You back in the land of the living? Lin Shen wants to know who sent this loser after him. Spill it. This dude's a tough nut. He's like, you can torture me all you want, even kill me, but I ain't saying nothing. Chin-kun thinks the guy's been specially trained or something. Torture ain't gonna crack him. Our hero smirks and pulls out this chain, says, let's try something a little different. Lu Feng just laughs, figures they're gonna tickle him to death with that silly thing. Lin Shen says these are bones from a king billyfish he found once, and now the demon lord's gonna show us how to use them. He swings the bone and slams it against the wall, cracking it big time. Seeing that, and imagining what'll happen to him if the Lord uses that thing on him, Lu Feng freaks out and screams. Spotting the smug grin on Lin Shen's face as he gets closer, he promises to tell him anything he wants. The hero figured the 5 elders sent Lu Feng, but he never suspected they were spies from the 9 sects. Chin-kun didn't know Hong Lei's maid was a secret agent either, and the hero replies that he'll mess with that girl today. Hearing voices outside, a Jew's stoked that Lin Shen's finally back. She figures it's the perfect time to ambush him and hides behind the door. Just as the hero's about to open the door, he suddenly hears a woman's voice calling out to him. The voice is familiar to the Lord and he turns around with a smirk. It's Minya standing by the door, whining that she can't sleep and this night feels like it's dragging on forever. Lin Shen asks her what she's doing here in the middle of the night. Minya tells him to stop calling her elder. She's not that old and suggests he just call her Yaya. She gets closer and he asks her what she's trying to pull. Suddenly, Eju, who's standing behind the door, gets clocked in the head. Hard. Turns out Minya was trying to pin him to the wall. But when she put her foot up on the door, she forgot it was paper and kicked right through it. Eju's crouching down, rubbing a huge bump that just popped up on her forehead. She can't wait any longer. She's going to kill the Lord through that paper door he's behind. Just then, he swings the door open to show her the gift from Elder Hong Lei and accidentally smacks her in the face with it. Realizing what just happened, Lin Shen asks Eju what she was doing outside the door. Hiding a knife behind her back, the girl frantically tries to come up with an excuse. Eju says her back's killing her from how powerful her lord is. Pissed off, Mingya leaves, promising to come back tomorrow night. After seeing her out, the hero stretches and heads back into the room. Eju, pulling out a dagger, follows her master, who says they can finally get down to business. Without turning around, he orders her to drop the weapon, because he just wants to talk. But the girl ain't stopping, and now she's charging at the demon lord with the dagger. 1 second later, she's on the floor, pinned down by Lin Shen. Turning to her, he asks if she still wants to save her sister. The girl's totally thrown. How does he even know about this? He says her uncle spilled the beans, was super honest. The dude didn't even have to ask. So he knows both sisters are students of the Heavenly Alliance, and AU got locked up for dissing her master. She nearly lost her cultivation, and to save her, a Jew volunteered to work undercover. When he asks which sister's better with the first heavenly sex skill, the Guanyun finger, she says Ayu's the wisest. A Jew said that unless she offs him, she can't save her sister, so she's begging him to send her corpse back to the sect. But he's sure there's still a way to save her, so tomorrow at dawn, a Jew's gonna lead the way. While he's catching some Z's after a brutal day, Aju's sitting obediently next to him in a chair. She's wondering why he's willing to help her, like, isn't he scared she'll try to ice him again? Constantly feeling this weird chill down her spine, she's thinking about pretending to go along with his plan, then setting him up. Suddenly, someone's banging on the door and the girl jumps, startled. Rubbing his eyes, the hero wakes up and tells Yao Yao to come in. The servant girl enters the room with a basin of water to wash her lord. Spotting the stranger in the room, Yao Yao asks who the hell she is. The hero replies that she's his guide and asks the servant to fetch the 5 elders. Dressed and ready, the hero sits on his throne in the reception hall, greeting the elders. He asks them with a smirk why they all seem so uptight and sleep-deprived. Lin Shen announces he's gathered them to declare he's going on a journey, and while he's gone, they're in charge of the sex affairs. All 5 elders are stunned, especially Ming Ya, who was planning to visit him tonight. The hero says he's leaving right now and won't be back for a while, so he advises them to behave themselves. The elders think it's a trap, that Lin Shen's really hiding, watching to see who'll dare move against him while he's gone. They're falling all over themselves, saying they could never be as wise as him. Hearing that only he can lead their sect to greatness, the guy's grinning ear to ear, loving that they think that. Talk's over. Lin Shen gets up and walks right out of the hall. Mingya's pissed. She was hoping he'd try to make amends today, but he just bailed. On the way to the heavenly sect, a Jew's racking her brain, trying to buy some time so the masters can set up their trap. She says they're practically there, and they can start easing down for a landing. Arriving in Tianfu City, they walk the streets, and the hero notices the people here are living pretty comfortably. The girl suggests they go further in and find an inn to crash at, and tomorrow she'll take him to the mountain. Meanwhile, she's hoping to bump into someone from her clan to get a message to the masters. All right, we're here, Lin Shen says, stopping in front of the pleasure house. Let's check this place out. The door swings open, and girls pile out to greet them, saying, "We missed you," Lin Shen asks. "Hey, remember me?" And they're all, "Of course we remember." One of the girls throws her arms around him, asking, "Who's this with you?" He says, "This is my wife." Immediately, all the girls jump back from Lin Shen. He's like, "What's going on?" One of them says, freaked out, "There's a rule here. Wives of officials aren't allowed in the pleasure house." Eiju whispers to him, "Maybe we should just go to a normal inn if they don't want us here." Throwing his arm around her, Lin Shen says, "It's cool, babe. My wife's super supportive." The girls are gushing, "Wow, that's amazing. You have such an understanding wife." The hero asks them to find them a nice room, while Eiju thinks to herself, "How can I kill this jerk myself?" Lin Shen's asking if there are any disciples from Mount Tianyi here, but the girl's sure there's no way. I mean, that sect's super strict with their students, who train hard on the mountain every day, trying to achieve ultimate virtue. Suddenly, our hero asks who those guys in robes are, and Eiju recognizes those Taoist robes. The girl can't believe what she's seeing, because she was certain these guys were righteous. She's so shocked she covers her mouth with her hand, and the hero asks if she's okay. After going into the room, Lin Shen sits on the bed and says he likes it here, and Eiju's trying to calm herself down. She hopes these students are here on a mission, like her, and thanks to them she can pass on the information. The girl tells the master she's going to grab a bite to eat and leaves the room. Chin-kun figures out where Eiju's headed, but he tells her not to worry, because he needs to make her break ties with that sect. Leaving the room, a Jew wonders why the Tianyi students are here. Maybe they came to take her back. Maybe the master knows she's back and told the students to come meet her. Throwing open the doors, Aji says they've done a great job. But the room isn't what she expected at all. It's just the guys getting busy with the local staff. 1 second later, Aji gets tossed out of the room, the door slamming shut behind her. Collapsing onto the floor, the girl wonders how they could do that to her. Watching everything unfold from around the corner is some chick with blue hair. In the morning, Lin Shen wakes up, having slept great after the long trip. Opening his eyes, he's startled to find Chin-kun sleeping on his shoulder. The hero realizes the master has been transferring energy to him all night, which really gets to him. Once Lin Shen improves his cultivation base, he plans to repay Chin-kun for her kindness. The hero wakes up to find Eiju sitting sadly on the floor, guessing she hasn't slept all night. She says she's just a little tired, but she's really thinking about how the Tianyi students could be involved in this stuff. The hero tells her to hurry up and head to the mountain today, and Eiju follows, hoping to find a chance to report everything to the master. As they leave the room, someone calls out to the girl and orders her to stop. Turning around, they see Tianyi students, one of whom says he now understands why she looked familiar. The girl tenses up, scared that these are the same guys she saw in the room yesterday. The dude chews a Jew out for shirking such an important job she was given. He grabs her arm to go sort things out, while she hopes she finally has a chance to pass on the message. As they lead the girl away, Lin Shen and Chin-kun discuss how this time she'll definitely spill everything. But the hero figures a Jew's going to be disappointed, because those guys won't have the patience to listen to her explanation. This girl's trying to teach these students something, but they don't even want to listen to her. The students never thought they'd run into other cult members here, but now they've got a plan. They won't kill her to keep their secret. They'll hide her in a safe place so she can do whatever they want. Hearing that, Ju kicks the guy holding her right in the nuts with everything she's got. As she runs, she can't believe scum like this could be among the Tianyi students. But she doesn't get far before one of the guys catches up and pins her to the ground. Seeing a crowd gathering, he says that this girl took their money and then refused to give them what they paid for. He covers her mouth so no one can hear her begging for help. Watching this go down, Chin-kun asks Lin Shen how long he plans to just stand there. The hero tells her to hold up, noticing someone's coming their way. The madam of the pleasure house shows up in the hall, ordering them to release Ju and stop causing a ruckus. Clutching his bruised spot, the guy tells Madame Bai to butt out, saying it's none of her business. The woman's pissed they tried to corrupt a good girl, but the guy calls it bull and asks if she even knows who they are. Bai knows they're all her old customers, but this is serious business, and if they want to get nasty, they can do it somewhere else. The students are fuming, but decide not to ruin their reputations by making a scene and just get Ju out of there. Grabbing the girl's hand, they're about to leave, but Madame Bai stops them. The woman wants the guys to pay up before they go. Throwing down some cash, one of the guys is indignant, asking how she could think he'd leave without paying. The madam says it's not enough since they ordered her best girls last night. The guy's furious, accusing the woman of trying to scam him, saying he's been here before and always paid 5 taels of silver. Lady Bai says the price just went up and they owe us more now. Tianyi's disciples are pissed. They have no idea what she's playing at. Lin Shen jumps in, trying to spell out for the guys what's expected of them. Everyone's doubly mad at his mockery, the way he's making them look like fools. Lady Bai asks her girls how much these 3 owe us from last night. The girls say one owes 250 taels, another 325, and the third only 20. The disciples feel everyone's waiting for them to cough up what they owe. Realizing they're cornered, 2 of the guys pull out their wallets and pay the girls. Lin Shen's surprised how much cash they have and regrets they didn't join the devil sect. But the third guy snaps, saying he's going to do the right thing and trash this joint. But the madam of this pleasure house ain't going to let him, and she calls over her helpers, Big and Little Chow. These bodyguard babes start closing in on the rebel, and he's clearly freaked out. Lin Shen's confused why they're keeping him here, and Chin Kun jokes they're looking after the weakling who didn't stand up for his wife. The hero didn't even imagine there could be girls this strong in a place like this. The way they beat that dude down. The owner of the pleasure house walks into the room and tells her assistants to stay outside and keep watch. The woman introduces herself as Bai Yu and says she wanted to meet the demon lord. The hero's surprised she recognized him and asks if she's a member of the demon cult's outer alliance. The girl admits she is. She's the head of the Hall of 100 Flowers and she saved a Jew, afraid Lin Shen would get exposed. The hero explains that a Jew isn't from their cult. She's a member of the Tianyi sect, just like those guys. The woman asks why the demon lord came here, and if there's anything she can do to help him. Suddenly, the hero's face darkens, and he glares up at the madam of the pleasure house. The girl drops to her knees, begging forgiveness for trying to interfere with His Majesty's plans. She confesses she didn't want to hinder the demon cult, so she pleads with the Lord to understand and forgive her. Chin Kun whispers to Lin Shen that many forces within the alliance are double agents. Master Mu Keshuen, appearing right then, says she knows Bai. She's loyal to the cult, so there's nothing to worry about. Chin Kun asks her why she didn't know about this, and she replies that Chin never got involved in sect affairs. Just then, Madame Bai's assistant pounds on the door, shouting that something's happened. Turns out, Master Liu Yidao of the Heavenly Tiger Hall's right division has arrived, because the 3 detained are his students. Surprised at how quickly he arrived, the woman promises the Lord to stall Yidao while he goes through the back entrance. The hero admits he actually came here to infiltrate Tianyi, and it would be great if Bai could help him. Aju's pacing, thinking how hopeless Tianyi's students are. Her master's the only one she can trust. The door swings open. Lin Shen walks in, asking if she's all right. Aju tries to reassure him she's fine, then asks if the pleasure house madam will finally let them go. Lin Shen says they'll be released, but they gotta stick around a little longer. Liu Yidao busts into the pleasure house, ordering the owner to come out, threatening to wreck the place. Madame Bai strolls out, suggesting they come back later. Her girls are still asleep and can't entertain them right now. The guy tells her to cut the crap and release his students. Immediately. Madame Bai retorts he can have them, but only after he settles their tab for services rendered. Liu Yidao's about to show her what the law is, because he figures their town shouldn't have places this filthy. Bai Yu says their sect's guardian visits this place too, and if they don't pay up, she'll rat them out about the debt. No way the guardian visited this place, and his students are already tearing it apart. Okay, so at the House of Pleasure, they smashed a golden wood column and a ton of those fancy imperial porcelain tea sets. Madame Bai figures the total damage is close to 3,000 silver taels, and that's not even counting the emotional distress. Seeing the doubt in his eyes, she suggests calling the sect guardian again, but the guy says he'll handle it. A Jew's positive that Master Liu Yidao's been tricked, because the sect guardian's a straight-up righteous dude. Lin Shen turns around, surprised, and she's like, "What are you staring at?" He thinks she maybe doesn't know the guardian as well as she thinks, and heads out, saying it's his turn to play. Now a Jew's starting to doubt the guardian's righteousness, because the master really does know him better than she does. Snapping out of it, she shakes her head, trying to clear her thoughts and not let the devil get the best of her. Liu Yidao dumps all his cash in front of Madame Baiyu, asking to pay for the rest later. Don't treat me like I'm a fool. I've seen plenty of guys skip out on the bill. But after thinking about it, Baiyu says he can pay off his debt another way. Liu Yidao asks what she wants from him, afraid to even guess what that woman's got planned. Madame Bai says she has another idea for how the master can settle things with her. Lin Chen comes down from above, and the woman introduces him as her brother, Xiao Bai, who wants to join the Tianyi clan. Watching everything from the balcony, a Jew wonders why this devil decided he wants to be a disciple in their sect. She's worried he doesn't want to help her rescue her sister anymore. The master's fine with taking a disciple, but doesn't get why Baiyu isn't going to the Guardian, considering their relationship. Lin Chen responds that they came to Master Liu because he only wants to learn from him. The guy's impressed by how much this kid admires him and his talent. Dashing towards Liu Yidao, the hero's like, "My martial arts are top tier, and everyone knows I'm a stand-up guy." He tells him, "Master Liu, you're the light guiding my way, my life's purpose. You're a mountain I can never climb." The Tianyi disciples gathered around are all, "Ugh, I'm gonna puke from all this sweet talk." Squeezing out a tear for extra drama, Xiaobai asks Liu Yidao, "Will you take me on as your disciple?" Since this kid's words are music to his ears, the man says, "All right, kid, you're in." Lin Shen's plan worked. And now the master's bear-hugging him, promising to take him as a student. Later on, our hero's walking around the sect grounds with one of the other disciples. The guy's saying, "No matter who you know, newbie, you gotta follow the rules if you want to stay out of trouble." As soon as the Tianyi disciple demands the hero call him senior, he shoves a huge gold brick in his face. The bribe works, and now the senior disciple's all polite, asking the hero to let him know if he needs anything. He's telling Xiaobai about the hole in the cliff, the one the clan founder made with his Guanyun finger technique. Dude's blown away by how powerful that strike must have been to carve out a 50-meter wide hole. The senior disciple leads the newbie to the room, tells him to try on the clothes, and says he'll wait outside. As he's stripping down, Lin Shen feels a weird movement outside the window. It slides open and Ju climbs in, taking a good look around. She thinks it's strange that Lin Shen's clothes are still here, but he's disappeared. Suddenly, a familiar voice asks her if sneaking in through windows is a sect thing. Looking up at the voice, the girl sees the hero, stark naked, crouching on the ceiling. This unexpected sight makes Ju's eyes pop out of her head and she screams. The senior disciple, who was outside the door checking the gold's authenticity, hears the scream. The next thing you know, he's bursting into the room, freaking out that something happened to Mr. Xiaobai. He finds the closet empty and is totally lost. Where'd the newbie go? He was just here. The kid runs off to tell the master he's missing, but meanwhile, our hero's on the roof with Ju, clamping her mouth shut. She breaks free, and he's like, "What the hell are you doing here?" Ju's pissed at Lin Shen because he didn't keep his promise to help her save her sister. He just bailed and came to the sect himself. He gags her again, shutting her up, reminding her he's the demon lord and she doesn't get to yell at him. He figures she's got no right to lecture him, and their deal was off the second she went running to those 3 morons at the pleasure house. With that, Lin Shen shoves her away and she's shocked he knew everything. He walks over to Ju, asking what he should do now, since she's the only one who knows who he really is. He grabs her by the throat, and she's terrified she's gonna die, especially since she never got to save her sister. But out of nowhere, the hero lets Ju go and turns his back on her. He says he's totally disappointed in her, and he's not even interested in wasting his time killing a pathetic nobody like her. The girl starts bawling and admits that she was wrong and she shouldn't have betrayed him. Sobbing, Ju begs him to stop and just hear her out. She promises she'll do anything for him if he helps her save her sister. He stops, thinks about it for a second, and then suddenly agrees. Looking at the girl, he promises he'll do her a favor, but only this one time. Ju explains that Dugu Chen, the sect leader, hasn't been seen in years, and the right guardian died 10 years ago, and hasn't been replaced. The 10 halls of the sect are controlled by the right and left guardians, and since the right spot is open, all the masters are trying to take it. Lin Shen wants to know what Ju's sister did to piss off the master, but the girl has no clue. Even though she and Ju both trained at the Mystic Foxhall, they barely saw each other since her sister was being personally taught by the master. So it turns out this girl has no idea where Ju even is. Lin Shen doesn't get this girl's logic, risking her life when she doesn't even know if her sister's alive or dead. He pulls some kind of pouch out of his pocket and tosses it to Ju. Get up close," the hero whispers in her ear, telling her what she needs to do. After hearing him out, Ju immediately bolts, and Chin-kun asks the hero why he's making things so complicated. The hero admits that his goal isn't just saving Ju, but also getting the Guan Yun finger and tearing down the whole sect. Master Gao Dongxi of the Mystic Fox Hall is training in the courtyard, pacing across stakes hammered into the ground. Just then someone calls out to him, and the gates swing open. A Jew, out of breath, appears in the doorway, telling the master that his disciple has returned. Suddenly, a massive gust of wind slams the girl inside, right into the master's arms. Grabbing her by the head, Gu Dongxi calls her a disgrace to the sect for running away without killing the demon lord. Not understanding why everyone's got their hands around her neck today, Aju says she has important intel for the master. The girl says the demon lord has infiltrated their sect's territory. According to Aju, she gained Elder Honglei's trust and got close to Lin Shen, and as proof, she's brought exclusive demon lord gear. Taking the pouch, the man threatens Aju if she's thinking of lying to him. When Qinchuan asks what Lin Shen gave Aju, he replies that it's something he doesn't need anymore. The master believes the item the disciple brought is very valuable, because it contains the demon essence of all generations. Aju doesn't understand what Lin Shen is planning, or why he gave her something so valuable. Gao Dongxi asks the girl how she thinks the Lord managed to get into the Tianyi sect. So Aju said she was going to kill the demon, but he just bailed. Turns out she figured out what he was after later, though. But when the master asks the girl what Lin Shen's goal is, she says she wants to see her sister first. The guy's pissed she's giving him conditions. Taking out that demon lord isn't just a win for the sect's rep, it'll boost his own cultivation, too. Qin Kun is losing it because Lin Shen had the nerve to give AG the personal artifacts of his mentors. Our hero rolls up to Master Liu Yidao, head of the Tiger Hall in the righteous sect. He greets the teacher, saying it's his lucky day running into him here. The master's ticked off that this newbie's only been here a minute, and he's already wandering around the sect like he owns the place. He orders his students to grab Xiaobai and hold him down so they can beat some sense into him. Grinning, the newbie asks why the master doesn't even care where he's been. The master says he doesn't give a damn. If Xiaobai doesn't listen, he gets a beating. Just as these students are about to throw down, this dude says he needed to hang out in the left guardian's room a little longer and have some tea. The senior students are pissed that Xiaobai's making the left guardian look like a chump, and they're ready to lay the smack down on him. But then, Liu Yidao steps in front of the kid, and all the blows rain down on his head instead. The hero's grinning, totally stoked to hear his master's bones cracking. Yidao tries to tell his students it's no big deal, that he doesn't feel a thing. Turning to Xiaobai, he says he had no idea they were so tight with the left guardian. Getting up from the table, the newbie's all impressed with how willing the master was to take the hits. He walks up closer and tells him he's going to help Liu Yidao become the right guardian. Meanwhile, Ju's sneaking past the meditating warriors of the Tianyi sect. Looking around all spooked, she tosses something that flies off in the right direction. Stone flies right on target, blasting straight into Lin Shen's room, and he snags it. He cracks open the flying letter, wanting to know what the note says. Unfolding it, Lin Shen sees that Aju seems to have earned their trust, and she's meeting up with the sister today. The dude doesn't really trust her, so he wants to tail her, but he's way too easy to spot. Qinkyun says that even though she's a spirit, she can't help, and gets bopped on the head with a bottle. Master Mu Koshuan shows up out of nowhere saying Lin Shen needs to use the soul-splitting technique. It's a technique where you break off a piece of your soul, making a double that can walk right through walls. Lin Shen's all like, how am I supposed to pull that off? I haven't even learned it yet. Master Mu Kisuan tells him not to sweat it because she can teach him right here, right now. The hero smirks because he's digging this idea and he's ready to roll. Following Master Gu Dongxi, Aju asks where they're going, but he tells her to quit yapping and just follow. Lin Shen's soul watches them and sees they're headed towards the back of the mountain. The hero's really hoping nobody spots him like this, or he'll die of embarrassment. Mu Kasuan's positive nobody can see his soul moving around, sticking out of her chest like that. Shoving him in further, she suggests he chill inside while she follows the master and Aju. Gao Dongxi walks up to a rock face. One of the stones lifts up, and a cave entrance opens before them. Going down into the dungeon, the master says he tried to teach AU, but she's too dumb to get what's going on. Opening a door, the master tells the prisoner that her sister's come to see her. Aju peeks into the room, where her sister's sitting at a table reading a book. Lin Shen's watching all this, but something about it just feels off. Ju rushes to hug his sister, but the hero notices she's way too calm for someone who's been captured. Taking his sister's hand, Ju tells her not to cry, assuring her that everything's going to be all right. She says she messed up and let her master down, so she volunteered to take the punishment herself. Gao Dongxi, standing at the door, tells the girl it's late and it's time for her to go. Ju asks his sister when she'll be out, but Yu just repeats that he has to obey their master. The door slams shut, but the girl keeps waving after him for a while. Once she's sure Ju isn't coming back, she rips off the mask of Yu. Now, after the meeting with his sister, Gu Dongxi demands Ju tell him why that devil came to their sect. Wiping away tears, the girl wonders what to do. Obey her master like her sister said, or tell him what Lin Shen ordered. Suddenly, she hears the overlord's voice next to her, saying Yu was a fake and advising her to stall and not trust the master, and he'll help her find her real sister. The girl whirls around at the sound of the voice, and Gu Dongxi, seeing her confusion, asks what's up. She hesitates, thinking, since the room was dimly lit, and Yu's acting weird as hell. Ju tells the teacher that the devil's disguised himself as one of their sect masters, and he's planning to kill him. Grabbing the girl's hand, Gu Dongxi pulls her along, wanting her to spill everything she knows. Now Lin Shenyu's got to find the real Yu, and he doesn't buy that there's only one prisoner locked in this dungeon. He's betting the real Yu is in a room deeper inside. The only question is how to find her. The girl who was pretending to be Sister Ju comes out of a room saying they have to move. She heads down the corridor with Mu Keishuan and Lin Shen on his back, hot on her heels. The girl kicks open the door to one of the rooms and yells that today's the end for the prisoner. In the room, wearing protective clothing, in shackles and blindfolded, sits Yu, surrounded by scurrying rats. Kicking her in the chest, the girl screams that her sister came back and was going to see her, but she's so dumb she didn't spot the fake. Mu Keishuan asks the hero if he wants to fight, saying she could cast a spell on her, but he refuses. The hero's sure that since this is a special prison, there's gotta be protection, and if they do anything reckless, they'll just drag things out, so it's better to wait and watch. Feeling tired, the girl decides to go take a bath. Left alone, a Yu's gag falls out of her mouth, and the blindfold slips down from her eyes. Appearing before her, Lin Shen first asks her to understand his appearance. Opening her eyes, the girl asks if he's a member of the sect. Smiling, Lin Shen asks if she isn't happy to see their sworn enemy here. According to Yu, the master she used to respect locked her up here for refusing to become the Left Guardian's concubine. The hero's glad the girl hasn't been brainwashed and tells her how Ju went looking for her and tried to kill him. Yu wants Lin Shen to tell his sister to get the hell out of the Tianyi sect and run far. He says he promised Ju he'd save her, and now that he knows where she is, they just gotta wait for his real body to get here and snatch a Yu out of this place. According to Mu Keishuan, Gu Dongxi rigged the dungeon with some kind of magic formation, so he'll know if anyone dips. But Lin Shen's got other plans, though he needs to gain a Ju's trust first, and to do that, he needs to know something only the two sisters know. Qin-kun's flying around all nervous, wondering why the hero ain't back yet. Suddenly, he takes a deep breath, and Qin-kun freezes, waiting for him to return to his body. As soon as Lin Shen opens his eyes, she asks him if he found a Yu, and if he managed to make a deal with her. But the hero ain't rushing. He's going to take a nap, leaving the rest of the worries to Mu Keishuan, who's happy to take him on. Suddenly, Lin Shen spots a silhouette outside the door and asks who's there. A voice replies that the master asked him to deliver something to him. On his way over, the hero's like, "What's up? It's late." Thinking to himself, the voice sounds kind of familiar. He opens the door, and standing right there is Elder Ming-ya. Seeing her, he quickly shoves the girl back inside so no one spots her. Shutting the door, he asks, "How'd you even know I was here?" Before he can even turn around, she grabs him by the collar and yanks him close. After pinning him to the floor and climbing on top, Ming-ya says, "Bai Yu works for me." For some reason, Lin Shen's not even a little surprised by that. Elder Ming-ya tells him, "Tonight my lord has to give me what I want." She whines how he just up and left, and it's been brutal spending nights all alone. Knowing she could crush him right now because she's way stronger, Lin Shen begs Ming-ya to chill. Suddenly, the hero gets this brilliant idea. A way to kill two birds with one stone. Our guy strolls through the garden, with Lu Yidao practically bouncing along behind him. The dude's wondering what's so damn important it needs a late-night meetup. Lin Shen promises the master he'll find out soon enough, and just then, Ming-ya pops up behind them. Sneaking up on the guy, she pokes him in the back and he jumps a mile high. Tiger Hall Master Lu Yidao from the Righteous Sect realizes he's walked right into a trap. Using her power, Elder Ming-ya freezes the master solid, mid-leap. Clapping like a seal, Lin Shen gushes over the elder's legendary ice palm talent. Pleased with herself, she's sure the ice statue can scream for help all it wants. Nobody's listening. Grabbing her by the shoulders, the Lord promises that if she plays ball, he'll reward her handsomely once the job's done. The girl's totally stoked and promises to wait for him. Just as Lin Shen turns around to leave, Lady Baiyu's helpers land in the garden. Turns out these girls got orders from their mistress to give the Lord a hand. Saying they're on a tight schedule, Lin Shen tells them they gotta get started. Big and Little Chow warn him it might sting a bit and tell him to hang in there. Approaching the frozen solid Liu Yidao, Lin Shen tells him not to sweat it. He points his palm at the master's face and says, "He'll definitely make him a righteous guardian." Next thing you know, he shoves the master's ice statue onto the ground. Hall Master Gu Dongshi from the Mystic Fox clan is waiting at the gate for it to open, with Eju behind him. The gates finally swing open and the master is told the left guardian's awake so he can come on in. While waiting, she's wondering why she hasn't heard from Lin Shen yet. Suddenly, she hears his voice from behind the wall, saying he found her sister yesterday, and she's safe. He says she's been held captive for a long time and is very weak, and she ended up there because she refused to become the left guardian's concubine. When she asks if he's trying to slander her master and the left guardian, he says if he wanted to smear them, he'd come up with something way more outrageous. Lin Shen claims he has proof that he actually saw AU in person. According to him, the girl has a butterfly-shaped birthmark on her right thigh.